Hey, original. Um since we didn't have time to review your game, I'm going to review it here. I'll do it as fast as I can. There's a few notes in your early game. For example, here in the first first thing, where you just like you stood like here, and at the start of the game, you should try to stand in like one of the openings to your jungle, like either here or here as a support, or top you could stand here or here. Um, so you know who's going into the jungle and things like that. If somebody's invading, like over here, like Vayne just invaded solo, which is, I don't know what she's thinking right here. She could have gotten giving you she could have had given you first blood,
Minions.
but she got away actually here. I like how the way you follow her, but it's fine. Good healing. So here, since she backed, you should have just pushed the lane as fast as you can, so she misses CS. Like what Israel's doing right here is completely not worth it, because he didn't miss a lot of CS here. So what you were doing here, you were spamming your Q. Like in this kind of a lane, like Sona versus soraka, um, you shouldn't spam your Qs because she will heal it right back. So you're just wasting mana over here. So you shouldn't spam Q in versus a sustain lane like this. You should just make it a farm lane, because Israel just wants to get his tier and Vayne just wanna farm up. Like you could harass her, but don't waste too much mana like this. Like just heal Ezreal, and just every time you get an opportunity to get a double Q, just do it. Other than that,
First blood.
Ezreal's fault. When you went toward, he just followed you and stood like right here. Here, that's a good trade. See, if you weren't harassing so much, you wouldn't have this much of mana. You could have had baited over here. You could have had baited, but it's still fine. Lee Sin's epic guy. Okay. You go back when your AD carries. You go front. Try to synergize your movement. Here also you could have helped the your AD carry in farming. Just look like here. See? You should have easily helped them with this one. and these two. You should have helped them. Maybe not the one in the middle, but the one in the one right here. Like you should have all back here. You shouldn't have back here. Vayne is trying to push lane. Like she doesn't hard push this, so it ends up quite well for you guys. But just you should have happened. You should have back here. I don't remember that I've told you or something. When you stand, you should try to stand behind Ezreal or maybe like this location. Because this is where you should stand. Champions like Sona, Jana, and you, Soraka. You should stand in this area. You shouldn't stand in front of your ADC. Like this area is your area. Yeah, you still stand it, like you just wasting mana here. Over here, you should have just pinned your pin. What's their name? Riven and Lee Sin, because they are just wasting time over here. And I think they got caught. I don't know what they are doing here. Just pin it back, because they don't know what they are doing. Right over here, like. Pantheon did more work than Riven because he just pushed top and then ganked mid, but she's just wasting her time. And now, like, they are going, just pin them back, like, and you should have followed them before. Followed them earlier, and here, you should have just pinned him back, just pin him back. Okay, so what are you buying? Here's another problem with what you're buying. Like, just buy a sight stone early. You should have bought a sight stone early. Like, you just building random things right here. Like, if you upgraded this item, the coin to the I don't remember its name, but you should have either upgraded this or just gotten and not a pay. Like once you're back, you should get a side stone and pink or vision control ward or something. I don't remember the new one's name. Just try to get these two, especially on Soraka. You need these two. Like I don't know what you're building here. I think you were building up a new item. Yeah, again, you're playing aggressive, extremely aggressive. Like if I were Vayne, I would have just pinned you to the wall and ulted. Your positioning is quite aggressive. Like. have had it right here. Like, I think Sona could have ulted also, but I'm not sure if it's completed. Don't use your... Oh yeah, she had it. You just don't use your abilities properly. Like, let's see. If you just put a... you put your silence here, that would help well, that would help Israel a lot. And just heal him. And your silence was kinda useless when you used it. And you were just like, I don't know why you're running backwards here. You should just heal him. Like, you're not in danger. Like, here you're not in danger. They are focusing Israel. You should. It doesn't matter if you're standing anywhere like within this area, but just heal Israel. And your silences didn't do anything. But it's... This is a problem. Which is kind of okay, depending on the fight here. So it's fine. So let's see. Okay. Your E is like, you don't use your E to its full potential. Like, it could, if you E dries, he's pretty much dead. I think he could have died if you just eat him. And here you're backing. Like, you shouldn't back away from your team. You should go to, like, just go back to your team. Don't, like, this is, at least if you went this way it's fine, but you just went back this way. Like, he's not even focusing you. Like, you're not the focus here. You should have just went with your team. Like, if, like, here, if Pantheon goes all in on you, it's it's kind of fine, because you just they just gave up mid for support, which is completely fine. But if now, if he goes, he could kill mid for mid, which is not optimal. Like, if he went on him, but he could have healed him in time. I think that. Like, just have a decision and just go with it. Even if it's wrong, if you realize, like, if you went back this, let's say this way, and then you realized that it's wrong to back, just continue backing, because going back it won't help. Like, it's too late. Rather than giving like 1 for 1, you gave 3 for 1. Even though you're this behind, your team kind of scales. So, 5, it's clear that your team in this situation when your team wants to start in this situation, you start with your silence. Like like just silence them and then like take the first tower hit and then back. You're for like 3 towers and you're also like extremely tanky. As I like this item is like I think it's kind of broken right now, but it like you need a sight stone. Like you need a sight stone. I don't think you used this item once in the game. Like you should just silence them right here before. Like you're backing. Your positioning is.
Blue team double kill.
Basic abilities. Like you didn't move. I think. Didn't move all of like try to move your champion between abilities. Like you did. Like, 3 ability, like 2 abilities and 2 autos. You could. Don't heal too much. Don't heal too much. This is like this is vegetable. Just be bad. Like, just be bad, so it's fine. That's fine. Lucky. I want to go to the team. Let's see. Good silence. So I don't know if you saw Xinjiao way over here. So the way you should move when you're like this, you should move to to the least dangerous route. So if you go this way, it's better because you would be 3 versus 1. This way is kind of difficult because you're 2v3, and then he's gonna come back from behind, and it would be like a if they um, if they um, if they stalled long enough to him to because you basically don't move. think your team was not focusing at the same channel. This is one guy, and they will all focus. She healed? Yeah, she healed. Yeah, I don't know what to say about this fight.
Shut
But
down.
as I told you earlier, if they stalled, I don't know if you saw, if you saw, and forgot this is why I don't like playing support, especially in like silver and stuff, because and you still don't have a touchstone.
Red team has slain the dragon.
Yeah, I remember this. You need, because you don't have wards, you don't know anything about the lane, and you just go like check in places where you know they are there, and you shouldn't check them. Your positioning still, yeah, like your positioning, the way you backed off, kind of okay, but you shouldn't have been in the front line. Like I don't know if you know this, but in general, like you should have you should have think of it this way. This is tanks and fighters, and here's mages. What else? Mages. Yeah, maybe mages are like right here, and here is ADC plus support. Like, and I mean support like Jana, soraka, and no, not Karma. Jana, soraka, and Sona. They are need to be in the back line with the ADC. And depending on which way they are coming from, like if they come from this way, you just try to stand way here and just heal who's in front. If they come from this direction, you immediately move this way, or this if you move this way, but you need to have an eye on your ADC and your team, like which way are they moving. If your team is moving this way, you should just move like further this way. If your team moved this way, you could just stand still and your team just changed their location. But you need to pay attention to the ADC. Your ADC. If your ADC uh, runs away, um, you should try to be with him. Try to be with him. But if he like runs away, you're kind of screwed if you stayed or if you backed. Like it's if you follow them, it's better because the ADC is one of the most is I think is the most important element to be. Still here, they're think your team is kind of struggling because they have no ward and you don't know where everybody is. This is like it's a 4v4. You just got yeah. Excellent. Like I love that. You could have, no, you don't have the item. You should have healed more. I think, let me see, I want to see your healing here. Better as you with think this is okay. Like it's okay. Like yeah, you could have won. Still, words like I think Sightstone probably lost you the game or something. Like, yeah. See, like you still like check. You know that they are here. Like, why are you in the front? Like, why are you? Like, this is your front line. Why are you in the front line? You shouldn't check bushes. You shouldn't check. I think you exhausted pain. Like this is also another thing you need to expect abilities from the enemy champions. So and like abilities that change like win or lose you the game. I think he did.
Take them.
He won't get away. Like it's you shouldn't lose. You shouldn't be in the front line. You should have at least like, I'm not saying a lot of here about like decision making, about like team fights and stuff, because you're having trouble problems like problems way before you need to think about like objectives and stuff. You're making problems about like you're not using your abilities correctly. You're not using your positioning correctly. You need to, I think, work on these before you work on like calls and stuff. But mostly about calls, you should just like at this time, you have Baron. You should have at least took. Yeah, and this is another thing. Like, why are you backing here? I don't know if you can see this, and yeah. I don't know if you see this, but you're going to the bot minion wave. Not just like here is. Yeah. Yeah. See, you're well, kind of fun. Like I know a lot of supports die because they were trying to ward, but if you know they are in an area or they're like never go places like that. You think they can like better to just die in this thing. Okay, he just flashed. Yeah, they backdoor. Okay. So what you need to do is use your your abilities right. Positioning is important. Like just try to work on these two for now until you get it right. Like thinking about objectives and what you need to get as objectives and other things like that. I think it's it's important, but for you now it's kind of not because you need to work on these two because you're this is what lost you the game. Anyway, I hope you find this helpful. If you need anything, just ask me and I will apply. Bye.